hereby given by the Secretary of the Board in the person of Lawyer Miss Catherine Odasi. Thank you very much.
Please, let's give it up to him. We can give him a clap of honor. Thank you. All right. We are all members of Horama Cooperative Credit Union, and probably some of us don't know where Horama is coming from. Horama is a Hebrew word meaning vision. So therefore, we have a slogan for this credit union. So when I say Horama, we respond vision. Same as the credit union. When we say credit union, the response is happy family. So we're going to do that exercise now. Horama. Vision. Horama. Vision. Credit union.
Happy family.
Credit union.
Happy family.
So after we are done with this, we are going to take the credit union song, which is going to be led by Mr. Desmond Crunchy Mensah. He is the Accra Chapter Field Officer. Thank you.
Credit Union. Credit Union. Orama. Thank you, MC. Good morning to all of us. Let's kindly open to page 6 of our booklet, and we have the Credit Union song. This is how it goes. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. So let's go. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. It's a small world. It's a small world after all. It's a world of laughter. It's a world of tears and cheers. It's a credit union. It's a small world. It's a small world. It's a small world after all. It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mensah. So next on our program is introduction of invited guests. So we have some invited guests among us. I'll be introducing. So please, if you hear your name, you just wave us for us to know you. Thank you. We have Credit Union Association, Accra Chapter Regional Manager in our midst. He's in the person of Mr. Daniel H. Kofi. All right, Len, he is not yet in. Thank you for that. We have Credit Union Association Accra Chapter Field Officer, Mr. Desmond Crunchy Mensah. We have the Regional Director of Department of Cooperatives, Madam Edith Gijonu. Thank you. Accra Metro Director, Department of Cooperatives, Mrs. Gifty Sapon. And then we have the Auditor of Department of Cooperatives. She's in the person of Mrs. Deborah Obodai Togbo. You're all welcome. As and when they come in, we will keep on introducing them. We have board members in our midst. We have our board chairman, who is in the person of Presbyter Bernard Daddy, and the other board members. We have Professor Ganu in our midst. We have Mr. Edem Sepa as a board member. We have our own moderator, West Volta Presbytery moderator, Reverend Dr. Marco Sinkoku Atako in our midst. Our West Volta Presbytery Synod clerk, Reverend Mrs. Comfort Ajo Tutu, she's also here. We have our supervisory manager in the person of Mr. Samuel Dagadu. Our finance manager, Mr. George Gonye. And the rest. We have the loan committee members too in our midst. We have Mr. Chris Carter, who is also in our midst here. Thank you very much. Next on our program is Shaman's welcome address. This is going to be taken by Presbyter Bernard Daddy, board chairman. Thank you.
Good morning, fellow cooperators. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow cooperators, I'm very much welcome to, you are very much welcome to the Orama Cooperative Credit Union's second annual general meeting with the theme, Together We Can, the Spirit of Credit Unions. I'm very privileged to present the union's second year's performance to you. We thank the Almighty God for making it possible for us once more to account to members as the law of the country demands, despite the challenges of the COVID-19 situation. Membership of the union membership for the period under review has increased from 300 as reported last year to 435 under the period under review, comprising 197 females, 196 males, 24 groups. Our doors are still widely opened for more potential members. We therefore plead with you, our valued members, to invite others to come on board. Both special strategic decisions. The survival of the society is very paramount. Hence, the board has taken certain hard decisions for members' consideration and approval. This will be tabled at the appropriate time in the course of the program. Conclusion. On behalf of the board, the various committees and management, I would like to thank everyone for the support given us in diverse ways to keep us going despite the harsh economic conditions we find ourselves. We know with your continuous support, Horama will definitely excel in all areas. God richly bless each and every one of you. Thank you, Bernard Daddy.
Let's give it up to the board chair. Thank you so much for that message. Horama, 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 Credit Union, Happy Family. Akpe, thank you. So next on our list is the confirmation of the minutes of the first annual general meeting. This is going to be taken by Presbyter Edem Sepa. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam MC. Horama. It's like we are forgetting. Orama, no problem. Very soon we'll all catch up. This is very new to us. Credit Union. Credit Union. Happy family. Thank you so much for that response. This function is supposed to have been taken by the board secretary. I am acting for her today. So, with the approval of members gathered here, I wish to continue as such. Thank you. We have been given the reports, I'm sure, about some few days ago, if not a week ago, and it is assumed that we've all read minutes of the previous AGM, which we had at EPCG Bubiashi. On that note, we will not take time to read everything page by page by myself, but we have all it is assumed that we have all read it. Secretary, Shikanye lawyer Miss Catherine Hodasi, for Dodasi, Gakele Kuhi de Cavadota, Melemia Domo, a Yoda Dorasina Bemawo. Enya Nubanto, and Nuvelia Nyebe. Me ho miafe enu chocho banle shikanya report ya be kosha rekaya ne alo nema de han kekeve aro emi hwesebe mi kata mi etome de susumata miaga ayi ehlege de ka o kabon dododo ple nume dododo kemie akpo le eme ya ikomia atwahie eji alebe mia ayi edoji. So we are going to continue. I am going to go by page, and if there are any issue that you think, correction, whether typographical, whatever kind of correction that you think is necessary, or if you were at the first AGM and there is an issue that you thought was not captured as it was, you highlight it, and then after which the report or the minutes will be moved for adoption and to be used as working document for today's activity. Thank you very much. So, I proceed. Let's all turn to page 8 of our book, the report, page 8. So if I mention the page, if there's any issue, you raise up your hand, we pick it, and then we go along as such. Is it okay? Mike, please. Okay. Minutes of the previous AGM held on blah, blah, blah. All right. Noted. So we can just put on the heading, minutes of the previous AGM held on 21st December 2019 at EPCG Bubiashi Parish. Have we all made that correction or amendment? Minutes of the previous AGM held on 21st December 2019 at EPCG. Thank you, my senior presbyter. So we'll proceed as such. Page 8. We'll take that as the first correction, page 8. All right. Page 9. We are looking at corrections and any omissions and additions. Nothing for page 9. Page 10. Page 11. Page 12. Page 13. Page 15. And page 16. Thank you very much. Meaning everything put here in the minutes were fully captured per the proceedings on that 21st day of December 2019. On the basis of that, I hereby move a motion for the adoption and acceptance of this minute as the true recordings of the meeting held on 21st December 2019 at EPC Jibubiashi to be the working document for today's discussion as approved by all of us. I so move.
Any seconder?
Seconded by Presbyter, George Agley. All right, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking us through this. Thank you very much. So we are going to move on to matters arising, and our chairman will do that. So we are going to start page by page. Thank you.
No. It has been seconded. May we show by hand those who approve the report for the record's sake. Let's see by hand those who approve, those who agree on the report. Show by hand so we know whether we all are in tune. Yeah, I think an enhanced I see is in majority. So it's approved. Let's proceed with matters arising out of the minutes. From the minutes, I realized that we addressed almost all the issues on that day. Response were given. The only thing I see which we had to go back to work on is on page 12, the first, page 12B. Page 12B. Francis Todro said the board chairman's report should have included the strategic plan as to how to move the Horama Credit Union forward. We were charged to have a 5-year strategic plan. We have done that. But for strategic reasons, we will not put it in the booklet. So to the information of members, that has been done. The auditors can attest to that. Edo da si onami le mi ape pepe epe ba yima mi edu adese ade unple be ma gbe da kai ko be ko yi ape mi be mba odo lo nya mi ape ngogbe yi nyawo o be mi ba ta ngogbe yi efa ton fe ngogbe yi ngogbe yi fe agbale dodo bo wa be miewe akema anyo be mi akwe dare mi brochure brochure anya public information about gare mi afa Capita diversity atai enya mi afa comme se be ma akwe temo akabi ewe auditor wa adi adasele wonami over bu gbara kama kale mo tamo sube there are no any other work in progress in the report. So we would, unless otherwise somebody says. First of all, let's give him. Ava. Yo, be see. Okay, me aiji. You're done.
Horama, Credit Union, Happy Family. Our meeting is being streamed live. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Asaya TV is in our midst streaming this live. So if you know some members who are not in our midst, you can let them log in Asaya TV, into Asaya TV on both YouTube and Facebook. They'll get to see whatever is going on here. Thank you. Horama, Credit Union, Happy Family. We are saying Happy Family, but we are not sounding like we are happy. Credit Union, Happy Family. Thank you. Next on our list is fraternal messages from our invited guests. So I'll first invite Cooperative Credit Union Association, Accra Chapter Regional, to give us their fraternal messages. Thank you.
Credit Union. Credit Union. Happy Family. Mr. Chairman, I want to bring greetings from the entire credit unions in the country, and most especially the leadership of the Ghana Cooperative Credit Union, to all of you at this second annual general meeting. First and foremost, I want to extend my appreciation to you members who have supported the growth of this credit union over these past years. I want to say Aiko to all of you. You have done a good job in bringing the credit union up to this far. You can do it well. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I will not forget the leadership of the credit union, the board of directors, the loans committee, the supervisory committee, as well as the management who are running the day-to-day operations of the credit union. We want to say thank you and God bless you. Mr. Chairman, I want to mention some key financial indicators that the credit union is doing well as far as the Horama Credit Union is concerned. I'll first and foremost mention about profitability, because it is one of the financial indicators that shows whether the credit union is growing or not. Once we are looking at a standard of 6%, after going through your financial reports, we can see that profitability was about 6.1%. And so you were able to perform in terms of profitability. Mr. Chairman, Capita adequacy ratio. Recently, you heard that some of the banks have been closed down, others have been merged and so on because they are not meeting capital requirements. Once we talk about Horama Credit Union, instead of 15%, you are having 19.1%. And so your credit union is Capita. Mr. Chairman, the theme for today's annual general meeting, Together We Can, the spirit of the credit union, is in the right direction. I want to mention that once we go to Proverbs chapter 6, go to the ants, consider its ways, and be wise. All of us know they come together, they save so that in times of needy, they are able to assist themselves. Mr. Chairman, equally, the beast does it and even better. Once they want to produce honey, they come together and they are able to do it and do it well. Same way, the termites also come together to be able to build their houses. How much more human beings? What are we doing? We equally have to come together as a way of cooperative so that we'll be able to assist ourselves. Mr. Chairman, let me mention that out of the 150 credit unions we have in Accra, Horama Credit Union remains one of the fast-growing credit unions, and also in terms of prudential reporting, at the end of every month, we receive prudential reports from your credit union according to the regulations. Mr. Chairman, we are therefore encouraging all members to actively transact business with the credit union. As regulators, we will continue to be at your back, supervise the operations of the credit union, and ensure that your credit union remain one of the vibrant in the country. I want to encourage members, save regular, take loans for productive purposes, and pay back. Mr. Chairman, on that note, I want to wish you all the best in your second annual general meeting. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Mr. Cranton. Horama. Horama. Credit Union. Credit Union. The next one is from the Regional Director of Department of Cooperatives. Madam Edith Dijonu will do that for us. Thank you.
Credit Union. Happy family. Orama. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Board and other committee members present, fellow cooperators, good morning. I am happy to be part of your second annual general meeting, and I bring you greetings from the Department of Cooperatives, the regulators of cooperative societies in Ghana. Mr. Chairman, though AGMs are mandatory for those elected to lead the credit union to account for their stewardship to the members, it is also an opportunity to present programs, projects for the ensuing year for the members to either approve or reject. It is my hope that when we get to the business session, as members, we will actively participate in the deliberations to ensure that the right decisions are taken for the running of our credit union. I must say congratulations on your registration as a legal entity. I can assure you that as regulators, we will do our part to ensure that the right things are done, and as members, be assured that your monies will be safe. We will ensure the protection of it. So continue making the small contributions. Together, we can, the spirit of credit unions. If we can, therefore, as leaders and members, we all have roles to perform to ensure that together we can build our credit union. So as leaders, it's important that we stick to our core business, which is buying and selling money. Most times, you realize that some credit unions tend to divert into businesses that eventually ends up in locking the funds or savings of members. As leaders, it is important that you make the right policies and decisions for the running of the credit union and apply same to all members concerned. It's also important that you come out with products and services that are tailored to the needs of your members. And as members, we also have our responsibility and roles to perform to ensure that our credit union grows from strength to strength. It is important as members that we attend forums or meetings such as this. I understand we have over 400 members. However, I don't think we have 200 in this room. So it's important that we come and attend these meetings, contribute our quota, so that we make the right informed decisions for the running of our credit union. For it is said, where our money is where our heart is. So if we don't partake in such meetings, how do we take the right decision for the growth of our meeting? Apart from us attending meetings regularly and contributing, it's also our responsibility as members to patronize the services and products of the credit union. And some of the services being shares. So it is important that as members, we should subscribe to shares. Not only just the minimum, but we can go beyond the minimum. And just as we are supposed to patronize the shares, in that same way too, we patronize savings, because it's also a product that is offered by the credit union. Let's not limit ourselves to the minimum savings. Let's continue to make savings frequently. And we also need to patronize loans. It's important because that is what the credit union thrives on. And it is when we access loans and repay on time, is when we make the profit that is shared among ourselves. Mr. Chairman, it's also important that you give continuous education to your members so that they appreciate the concept of the credit union. If they understand it well, it makes your job as managers of a credit union easy, and then they tend to encourage potential members to also come and join. After all, credit union depends on or thrives on membership. So if they are well informed and they understand the concept, they will go out there and market the credit union for their friends and potential members to also come and join. Finally, I would like to say congratulations for posting a profit. We are just coming out of, we've not even come out of a financial crisis, and then COVID reared its head. You managed to post a profit. Others made losses, so it's a pat on your back. I think they deserve a clap. Thank you. And on that note, I wish you fruitful deliberations. Thank you.
We can do it better. We can do it better. Thank you. Horama. Horama. Credit Union. Credit Union. Happy family. Yeah, we are continuing with our second annual general meeting of Horama Credit Union at Dansoman, EPCG, Dansoman Parish. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Asere TV is here streaming live, so members that are not here can log in and watch what we are doing here. Thank you. We are continuing by taking the reports from the Board of Directors. Thank you.
Orama, Horama, Credit Union, Happy Family. Thank you once again to present to you on behalf of the Board Secretary, the Board of Directors report. We can find that on page 21 to 25. Page 21 to 25. Board of Directors report by Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Introduction. Fellow cooperators, we, the Board of Directors, BOD, present to you 2019 and 2020 financial year report of Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited in fulfillment of Article 43, Clause B of the Orama Cooperative Credit Union bylaws. The cooperative union is being administered as follows. Members of the Board of Directors in charge of affairs of Orama Cooperative Credit Union for the period under review are Mr. Bernard Daddy, Board Chairman, Dr. Kokumensa Ganu, Vice Board Chairman, Reverend Edem Ajaku, the Treasurer, Mr. Edem Kwame Sepa, a member of the board, Reverend Dr. Mark Wilson Koku Atakro, a member of the board, Very Reverend Francis Amenu, a member of the board, and lawyer Miss Catherine Hodasi as the board secretary. The day-to-day administration is headed by the manager, Mr. Samuel Dagadu, and being ably assisted by Mr. George Gray Gonye as the finance manager. Membership drive. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely affected our membership drive as our plans to pursue aggressive membership drive had to be shelved. Difficult as it was, we managed to increase the membership from 300 as at the end of the last financial year to 435 as at 31st December 2020, representing an increase of 135 members over the last period. We shall continue to ride at the back of our embedded insurance policy cover for every member of Orama Cooperative Credit Union, where a member in a situation of losing a close relative receives 1,000 Ghana cedis as a support, irrespective of one's savings level, and also the next of kin of a member receiving double the savings balance of the deceased member will be a strong selling point to attract prospective members. Audit. The Ghana Credit Union Association as at its biennial conference in 2020, resolved to change the financial year that ends 30th June each year to end 31st December, rather. Even though members are to start complying with this resolution from the year 2022, we, that is Horama Cooperative Credit Union, have decided to immediately comply as our system is already in compliance with the change. I think we need a clap for that. The 2019 and 2020 financial year came to an end on 30th June 2020, but we have been audited up to 31st December 2020. This, therefore, has made us the first society to comply with the change. Auditors from KUA and Department of Cooperatives examined our books, and they will present their report to you in due course as we go on with the meeting. Now let's look at some figures. So these are the key performance indicators. The figures on page 22 are key performance indicators. They are the key things that we should look out for, whether we are a going concern or we are doing well and continue to operate into the next foreseeable future or not. These are the key information that we needed. In June 2019, our total asset was 200,659.54. However, as at the end of June, or let's make it like this, as at the end of December 2020, our total assets was 548,551.17. And compared that to the original end of year, which should have been June 2020, which was 435,395.55. Our portfolio, by way of total asset, grew by 25%. That is within a 6-month period. The total asset grew by 25.99. However, if we look at the last audit, which was in 2019, June, to June 2020, that is just 1 year period, the total assets grew by 116.99%. This is a very magnificent growth, and we need to pat our own at the back. Maybe we are not understanding this. Our total asset within 1 year period grew by 117 percentage points within 1 year. And within a period of 6 months, that is June 2020 to December 2020, it grew again by 25.99, that is 26%, which is very phenomenal. Looking at the situation we find ourselves now as a country with this issue of COVID-19 pandemic, this is a very huge jump. Somebody will say, this is an elephant jump. Our total shares, the total shares you and I have in June 2019 we have a total share of 71,000. And in 1 year period, that is June 2019 to June 2020, total shares moved from 71,000 to 104,470, representing 47.14%. However, if we should extend, because we did the financial year to comply with the new directives, which was December 2020. So within 6-month period, from June 2020 to December 2020, our total shares grew by just 6.76%. That is, let's call it 7%, which was not too good. And that tells us all seated here that we need to do more by way of what? Buying more shares. And once we do that, we are giving more capital to our union, and we'll do better with whatever shares we have. Our total savings, that is the savings we do. We have different types of savings, GGM savings and the rest. They are all part of the book, the brochure we have, or the report. The total savings in June 2019 was 155,632. However, in 1 year period, that is June 2020, we grew this figure to 369,994, representing 138%. These are huge growth. And with this 6-month period, from June 2020 to December 2020, we further grew that figure by 19%, that is 18.5, from 369,994 to 438,424. That is a very significant growth. Our total income, the income here is the interest we get on our loans. The interest we get on our loans and interest on our investments. In June 2019, the total income we made was just 9,889 cedis, 27 pesos. That was when we just started giving out loans. If we all remember, when we started, 1 year, we had a 1 year loan-free period. We were not giving loans. And when we started, that was the figure we got by way of income. However, in a period of 1 year, June 2019 to June 2020, our total income was 59,207 cedis, 45 pesos, representing 499, almost 500 percentage points. Let's give ourselves a good clap there. We added income by 5 times of what we got in June 2019. However, within a 6-month period, from June 2020 to December 2020, we added on to the 59,000 we got to a figure of 122,638.21, representing another 107 percentage points in 6-month period. This is significant growth for those of us who are in the finance industry. When we are looking at figures like this, there is no financial institution that could be doubling figures like this. It's not by magic, but with the dint of hard work, with all of us here, we are all contributors to this performance. Our total expenditure by way of the union in June 2019, our total expenditure as at June 19, 2019, was 39,687 cedis and 9 pesewas. And it increased in 1 year period, June 2020, to 72,904 cedis, 30 pesewas, representing 83.7%. And this is also a very good one, because your expenditure is reducing. When we look at the growth in terms of asset, shares, savings, and income, we are having double, triple of that. However, when it came to expenditure, the amount of money we spent in getting the union run, we were not even doubling. We did only 80% of the previous one and added it. And that gave us the 72,904. And by the end of December, that is the 6 months from June 2020 to December 2020, the total expenditure was 99,603, representing 36.63% within the 6 months. That is from June to December, which is also a very good one. Meaning that the people we put in charge are managing the resources very well, and they are very careful as to the amount of money they spend on the union as far as administration is concerned. Now, surplus or deficit. Surplus is after everything has taken care of, profits, whatever, we take everything off. Do we still have something which we call surplus or a deficit? Meaning, we have chopped everything that we have made by way of income and further chop some which we have not even made. So it's like Miedwag Badongo. Now, in 2019, we had a negative surplus, which we call deficit, because we did not give loans in 1 year period. So all the money we are spending were all against us. Because we were spending, but we were not making income. And as of June 2019, we had a deficit of 29,797. However, in a year's time, when we started giving loan, we reduced that deficit by 54.04%, representing, or in amount term, from 29,000 to 13,696.85. We have reduced it by half. The loss we made in the first year, we reduced that loss by 54%, which is a very good development. And in 6 months after that, that is June 2020 to December 2020, the loss that we made, the deficit that we found ourselves in as of June 2020, which was 13,696.85 Ghana cedis negative, we cleaned up the negative by December. The whole negative was cleaned up, and we made a profit of 23,035.02%. Let's give ourselves a applause. Within 6 months, we cleaned up the loss, made profit. Liquid investment. When we say liquid investment, we are looking at the amount of money we invested by law. Whatever savings we take, whatever shares we take, a percentage must go into investment with KUA as a regulatory body and other places that we think we can make more investment income for our union. In June 2019, our total investment was 154,992.04. However, in a year's time, our investment dropped. The amount of money we have as investment reduced from 154,992 to 152,212, giving us a negative change in terms of percentage, minus 1.8%. Now, somebody will ask, what is the meaning of this? If you are a financial institution and you are your trading stock, what you sell is money. And like we all know, we started giving loan after 1 year. More money is being requested in terms of what? Loans. So we need to disinvest. We need to take some money from our investment and add to whatever we have to give loans. Meaning simply that more loans were coming and we have to finance them. So now instead of putting money in investment, the monies are now in what? Loans. That caused the little reduction by 1.8%. However, we were able to quickly work around. Within 6 months, our total investment, which was 152,212 in June 2020, we were able to mobilize quickly and top up our investment. By December 2020, we had a total investment, cash investment, of 181,503.52, representing 19.25 over a 6-month period. This is a very good one. Other investments we have by law or by constitutional requirement, there is an investment we have to do, which we did 500 Ghana cedis, and that has not changed. It is still 500 because it is mandatory by law. We have to do that, so we did that. We were not adding up. Where we have to add up is where we knew we are going to make more money for the union, and that's what exactly we are doing on your behalf. Now, in June 2019, we had 0 loan amount disbursed. 2019, we didn't disburse any loan. By 1 year time, when we started giving loans, our total loan by June 2020 was 349,375. That was the total loan within a period of 1 year when we started. However, by end of December 2020, 6 months after that, our loan portfolio grew to 522,575, representing 50% of just 6 months. 6 months, we did double, or half of what we did in 1 year to add up to that of June 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, in a snapshot form, these are the key things that we should all look out for. And with the indications that we have here, it means Horama is very healthy financially. Let's give ourselves a clap. Now, dividend payment. The decision not to lend for 1 year, but rather use the period for funds mobilization in the previous year has resulted in a negative financial position in the audited financial reports, as income was limited to interest received on our deposits with our bankers. That is the investment income. This leads to the deficit of 29,797.82 for 2018 and 2019 financial year. We indicated to members that as the 1 year freeze on loan was over, we hope members will patronize our various loan products, thereby giving us the chance to earn more to clear the deficit and make enough profit so that members can also get some dividend on their investment in future. Members seated here indeed patronize the various loan products, and by the grace of God, have been able to significantly reduce the initial deficit of 29,797.82 to a deficit of 6,762.80. Once again, we will plead with members to be patient with us to first clear the little deficit left in the reserve, then turn our energy into generating enough funds for members, enough returns for members. We are therefore sorry to once again announce that no dividend could be paid to members this year. Our future plans. We promised 0 loan delinquency rate by end of the year, and we delivered exactly that. We are ensuring same this year. And we want to take this opportunity to thank all members who took loan and diligently paid. It was because of your goodwill. That is how come we got 0 delinquent loan. Our number 2 future plan is to introduce new products and services. 3, we are promising to introduce financial literacy awareness and continuous membership education. This we started by organizing one financial lecture on the theme Creation of Wealth through Appropriate Schemes on 13th July 2019 at EPCG, Nima Parish. The COVID-19 pandemic, as we all know, has curtailed our efforts in this direction. We shall revisit this when the COVID situation comes under control. Challenges. The number 1 challenge we all have now, making businesses to fold up and have all kinds of difficulties, is the almighty COVID-19 pandemic. And our second challenge as union is that even though we grew our savings, total savings in a year by 137, there is still a challenge of irregular monthly savings by members. What are we looking at? For 2021. 2021, our projection is based on the performance of the society as at December 2020 as follows. So we have the 2020 actuals and then the budget on page 24. We can all go through for the sake of time. We can see the figures we have there, what we budgeted for, and then what we actually gotten by way of actuals in 2020. We also thank Credit Union Association, KUA, the Accra chapter of KUA, and Department of Cooperatives for their priceless contributions and support. In conclusion, we wish to assure all members that in spite of the financial difficulties in the country, the board of Horama Cooperative Credit Union Limited is committed to delivering quality services to the members and continue to make policies and measures that will guarantee members' interest. God richly bless each and every one, and we thank you so much for your dedicated service, diligence for this credit union. Signed, Board Chairman Bernard Daddy, co-signed, Board Secretary Catherine Hodasi. Thank you very much for your attention.
Please, we can do it better for ourselves. This is to ourselves, we the members of Horama Cooperative Credit Union. I think we have brought Horama where it has gotten to. Without us, Horama wouldn't be growing as it is, and then today we stand here and give you all these. Thank you so much. Autonomy, thanks for choosing Horama. And I know you go out there and tell your other colleagues to join Horama. It is not to only EP church members. we all know it is open to members outside. We have friends, we have colleagues in the office, in your office, and others. Please sell Horama to them. Today we are seeing it this way. Just 3 years, look at the massive things we are doing. So I think we should go out there, sell Horama to the public, and we should get more members. Thank you so much. And I could go melenebe, miawena Horama lechichi. Ne miawo melemowe, Horama ma dofike oleo. Eke, mia tode mia fenkume egbe, ano Horama fenya ogbe onamio. Ezo cheme no gbogbo bede, omo Horama na mia ipi church talko. Mia holo, mia dometo le domeklimi, mia tangwe na wa join Horama. Amegedela Horama o benefits cho Horama go. Tame de kukuna minamiva ijrami antomiave products nemi akpo no achideji akpe Horama credit union. Thank you for your attention. Next on our list is the presentation of the financial report. This is going to be done by the auditors. Thank you.
Credit Union. Orama. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, fellow cooperators, I present to you the auditor's certificate of Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited. This is in page 30. This can be found in page 30 of your brochure. Thank you. We have audited the accompanying financial statements of Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited, which comprise the statement of financial position as at 30th June 2020, and the income statement, statement of changes in equity, and cash flow statement for the year then ended, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes. Director's responsibility for the financial statements. As stated in the Credit Union bylaw, the Board of Directors is responsible for the preparation and fair presentation of this financial statement in accordance with generally accepted standard on financial reporting, Cooperative Society Decree 1968, NLCD 252, and other regulations. This responsibility includes designing, implementing, and maintaining internal control relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, selecting and applying appropriate accounting policies, and making accounting estimates that are reasonable in the circumstances. Auditor's responsibility. Our responsibility is to express an opinion on these financial statements based on our audit. We conducted our audit in accordance with generally accepted international standard on auditing. Those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements and plan and perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance whether the financial statements are free from material misstatements. An audit involves performing procedures to obtain audit evidence about the amount and disclosures in the financial statement. In our opinion, the financial statement gives a true and fair view of the financial position of Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited as at 30th December 2020, and and of its financial performance and its cash flow for the year then ended, in accordance with Cooperative Society Decree 1968, NLCD 252, and industry standard. Thank you. Credit Union.
Thank you. Horama. Horama. Credit Union. Credit Union. Okay, I invite Reverend Edem Ajaku to give us the financial report. Thank you. He is the treasurer of the board of directors. Thank you.
Thank you. Horama. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this second AGM of the Horama Cooperative Credit Union. I am here to give you the financial reports, and that can be found on pages 33 to 35. We have the income statement on page 33, the statement of financial position, formerly known as the balance sheet, on page 34, and then the cash flow statement on page 35. The notes to the financial statements are from pages 37 to page 51. For the sake of our time, we shall not be looking at all of them, but we shall touch on a few highlights. I think that in reading this, we should also bear in mind the context within which these results were achieved. As we all know, the year 2020 was marked by the COVID-19 pandemic. And again, we consider the fact that the credit union took off in 2018. So for the comparative, that is the previous results in 2019, we may notice that there seems to be a bit of a wide variation. What this should tell us is that notwithstanding the rigors imposed on us by the COVID-19 pandemic, we were still able to perform quite well. And this should encourage us all to work even harder for the credit union to grow much faster. Thank you. So if we turn to the income statement, again, we start with income. So we see our income comes from interest on loans. And for 2020, we see a figure of 73,015.55 Ghana cedis as compared with nil for the comparative prior figure. Because as we all know, from 2018 to 2019, the credit union was not given any loans, and therefore there was no interest on those loans. Interest on liquid investments, 32,505.74 for the period under review, and the prior comparative, 6,056. Again, that can be understood when we consider the fact that for the period up to 30th June 2019, we were now building up, and therefore there wasn't the amounts that we were able to put into liquid investments was not high. But with the increase in the amount of cash that the credit union was able to raise, we were able to generate interest from the investments that we were required to make. And therefore, all that gives us a total operating income of 105,521.29 for the period under consideration, compared to 6,716.17 Ghana cedis for the prior comparative. And then we also have a non-operating income of 17,116.92 compared to 3,173.1. So our total income came to 122,638.21 compared to the 9,889.27 of the previous comparative. Our expenditures, with the period under review being a period when the credit union started operating, it is understandable that our expenditures would have increased. And that is the story that we can see when we look at the expenditure: cost of funds, personnel costs, occupancy, organizational costs, security, administration, provision for loan losses. Invariably, those have all been an increase on the prior year, and therefore our total operating expenses came to 99,603.19 Ghana cedis compared to 38,687.09 of the prior year comparative. So when we take our total operating expenses out of our total income, we have a net surplus of 23,035.02 Ghana cedis compared to a net deficit of the period before of 29,797.82. And that surplus is appropriated as shown at the bottom of page 33. If we can turn to page 34, which gives us the statement of financial position, which in an earlier period was known as the balance sheet. That tells us what the credit union owes versus what the credit union owns versus what it owes in simple terms. Excuse me. So looking through the statement of financial position, the main story which will not be a surprise to any of us is that our asset base has grown significantly. The liquid funds, that is the funds that things like cash at hand, have increased to 11,000. Liquid investments, again, as Mr. Sepa has explained to us, liquid investments now stands at 181,000, which is not too, it doesn't seem too different from 154,992 of the prior year, but the explanation for that has been given to us. The net loans to members, again, as we remember, in the prior comparative, no loans were given, and therefore the credit union did not have any receivables from debtors. But now, because we have been able to give loans, we have receivables of 317,966.36 Ghana cedis, and then our non-current assets stand at 37,555.8 compared to 43,796. So our total assets, 548,551.17 Ghana cedis compared to the prior period of 200,659.64. In terms of our current liabilities, what we owe now, the major item there is the members' savings. In other words, the credit union recognizes that the money that members have contributed, it belongs to the members, not to the organization. And therefore, that is recognized by the figure of 438,424.24 Ghana cedis, which, as we again heard earlier, grew significantly from the prior year figure of 156,632.81. So our current liabilities stand at 443,783.97 compared to 159,457.36 of the period before. And all that comes to that gives us our equity, which comes out to 104,776.2 compared to 41,202.18 for the prior period. When we look at the cash flow statement, the cash flow statement tells us exactly what the cash did. When we go to the income statement, there are some items on the income statement that are not necessarily cash. There may be things like depreciation, etc. They have to go into the income statement, but the cash flow is telling us what the cash was that came in and the cash that went out. So the cash that came in from operating activities, when we look at the subtotal for point number 1 on the cash flow statement, page 35, the cash that came in from operating activities, 35,052.72 Ghana cedis. In the period before, it was a deficit. In other words, more cash went out than came in from operating activities. And then with the cash that came in, there were changes in the assets and liabilities. So when we look at the subtotal there, we see that for the period under consideration, which is up to the end of December 2020, it's a deficit of 1,799.03. It tells us that more cash went into operating assets and liabilities than came in. In the previous period, we see that because it was a time of getting the credit union up and running and consolidating, more cash came in than went out. So that is what the story that the changes in operating assets and liabilities is telling us. When we go to point number 2, investing activities, again, it's showing us that for the period under consideration, 2,565 Ghana cedis went out, which was for the purchase of non-current assets, compared to the period before, where a total amount of 44,296.5 went out for the purchase of non-current assets. And in point number 3, under that, again, when we look at it, in 2019, 71,000 Ghana cedis of shares were issued. And if we recall, the period up to 30th June 2019 was when the credit union was busily working to increase membership. So that is reflected in the 71,000 cedis of shares that were issued compared to the 40,530 of the year of the period ended 31st December 2020. So when we go to point number 4, that tells us the net positions. So for the period ended 30th June 2019, there was a net inflow of cash of 156,363.04. And then when we add to that the net increase in cash and cash equivalents that came in to the period ended 31st December 2020, we have a total of 182,529.01. So that is telling us that for the period ended 31st December 2020, more cash came in than the prior period. Thank you very much.
We can do it better for the treasurer. Horama. Horama. Credit union. Credit union. So next on our program is discussion of the report. Who is doing that? The discussion of the report.
Yeah, we first need to move for the acceptance of the account. So we request from a member to... The treasurer, you move first.
Apollo is chairman, I forgot. So, ladies and gentlemen, members of Orama Cooperative Credit Union, I hereby move for the acceptance of the financial statements for the period ended 31st December 2020.
Any seconder from membership?
Seconded by
Agbeve.
Catkis Foster Agbeve.
Okay.
Catkis Foster Yao Agbeve of Accra New Town.
So let's see it by vote. How many people by hand accept those documents as a working tool for our meeting? Let's see by vote hand. I think I can see majority of our hands up, so it's accepted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your attention. We are still in the second annual general meeting of Horama Cooperative Credit Union Limited. We are here at EPCG Dasoman Parish. We are live on Asay TV. You log in on YouTube and then Facebook. You watch us live there. Thank you very much. Horama. Horama. Our slogan is Horama Vision. It means Horama is going to be what? A great and big cooperative credit union in our presbytery. And we are all happy and proud of our members. Thank you. As I said earlier on, let's keep selling Horama to our friends, our members in our various congregations that are not part of us, to join Horama Credit Union and also get the good things we are getting from it. Thank you. Next is the proposal and adoption of AGM resolution.
Sorry, we will do some questions on the accounts, discuss the accounts, and then we close that chapter.
Okay.
So members, there's an opportunity to ask further questions. Okay. I'm going to give numbers. 1, your name first, and then your question.
I'm in bankers, and my question is about the dividend. Dividends. According to the chairman, he said our jump is an elephant jump, and I knew with the elephant jump, we have a lot. So I think there will be something small for us, as a dividend and interest. So that place, I want him to iron it out, and how best the members also can get something small. Because last year we were promised that, God willing, this year, by all means, that's my question. Thank you.
We'll take 3 questions and then respond to. Any other question on the account? Any other question? So only 1 question, so we'll respond to that. Okay, I will respond to that. We came to this decision because, if you can see, we entered the year under review with a deficit reserve, 29, and at June 2020, we were still in deficit. In reality, our profits as at for the 6 months is not strong enough for dividends if we want to run a good venture. So we still have some, it was only 6 months that we were able to clear the there's deficit. The real figure for profit today, if we want to distribute it, it will be 1 cedi or 50 pesos per person per day. It's not going to be enough. So we still have a deficit, actually, of 6,762 to pay. So we have made profits, but if you send it into our reserves account, where we will take money from to give out dividends, it's still negative. Does that answer your question? Go to page 34. Page 34, and look at equity. Go to equity. You see that our reserves has reduced from 27.28 to 6,000, still deficit. 6,000. Yes. So you see that our 23,000 profit we made had gone to pay this carried forward deficit of 29. And so we still have deficit to clear. We are hopeful that as we end the year under review, the next year under review, we will be making a positive reserves where we can then apply dividends to. So that is why we are not paying the little we are requesting for. We beg for your patience to give us some time. Thank you very much. Is the House clear with us? Are you clear, sir? The floor is yours.
A nation perfectly. But since they are using our professional measures, that is why I said there must be something. Now, they are using their professional measures when you are coming for facility. You are still not hearing me. Let me speak a word for you. Then the beggar do pay. Exactly do kilos. It's not flexible the way it is. That I investment. As a different aquam, Benedima, Bologomasari, Ome Glonanekamu, oh, Nuares, Gnala, Lobama, Dacena, Dovala, Donio, I can hear me go out of the air to the levy.
Yo, Mark the chairman for number 1, Yema Oblo. But to Bobamie vide aluminium profiter. Mieko vide 2020 ha ephenomianu le 2018 and 2019. Alabe vide mieko de ehefa gakema tenka yikatanvo. To Bobamie devi ha mi wo profit ma f 29,000 noni. Chike 23,000 emi wo. Chikenya vide ever 29,000 mapa de. Alebe, as we speak, 31st December 2020, F 6,762. Elemianu mi kogere 2021 yame. Tande maudi 2021 enuga nyua. Kemi 6,000 manyefe. Elemianu mi hivo kenu ya potode. Afina teno no dividend mam anu videa mam. That's number 1. Number 2, the company's code. Since Horama is a limited liability company. Companies could make them obene the upper de FLNU Abenia Bromilefiana, Mapomo, to Bobena wo vide left Maha, Mapomo na me vide mao. Basere can from over. It is by law. The companies could indicate that. That a separate do party Ekhayaha. Akbe.
To add to that, for we going strictly to procedure in acquiring loan. It's to our own benefit. It's to the benefits of members. If we are so loose in giving out loans, then we're looking at the other side, delinquency. Our projection of maintaining a zero delinquency rate, if we compromise it, then we'll be having what we call bad debts. People will not be paying their loans if you are just giving out the money as loans because we want money. So, akpe, be ne lenku de am, nyabete mi no de dede le loan le home. Nyabe na loan le benye nucha me nya no ahe. E le di gbeta ne sbe no se no no ko na fa egbe le lo egbe le akpe de mi. If no further questions, we move ahead. Okay, sorry.
Yo maraku kwanya Joseph Newton koku gadiko. Oto man probi DPH. Joseph Newton koku gadiko. Oto man probi DPH. Ma tak pegara tango bato the over account au manushan bakoba Ada jinye yawe dogara wama nie makpomak belanja ba total income takla expenditure no nyua ma to kurama bana morally bana expenditure nyatangwa a reduce vie anyo bana Yakungo ba yuito. Arabe yara yua na expenditure ba dogaji yufwa pana. Tukbaba lo kunya zagoma koya pa ri saka mitia. Bakaji ba amoro no ni skaba nyata reduce expenditure. Alaba odanya jina nyafa konta nyau. Nyada umba madura.
Apa miekwe. Bubude Galia. Any other question? Can we then move forward? So we are done with the financials. We move forward.
All right. Thank you so much. And we have in the presence here, in our midst here, the manager of Empress Cooperative Credit Union. Empress Cooperative Credit Union is a credit union at Meridian Presbytery, and he's in the person of Mr. Elom Dogbaji. Mr. Elom Dogbaji, you are welcome. Then you can come and give us your fraternal message. Thank you.
Horama. Horama. Happy Family Credit Union. Mutifafa nami. Miawele dowo. Enye jijo tohe nam. Eye meho bedona me tohe cho Empress fu meblibo la katango venami. Veveto cho miafe osofo board chairman. Meke ganye director of finance na nyanyu hama Reverend Daniel K. Tovinyo. Ble efe do hati o katango venami. Bedona mako nyebe miawele dowom. Edo ne yide edoji. Abe cooperators wo ena. Minye competitors kra o. Kabu minye fume blibo deka. Miafe jijeja enye mioha miafe jijeje. eye ehia be mi kata mi ase cooperative aƒe enuwɔnawo gɔme be dodo yi ta mi le wɔm ne be mɔnukpɔkpɔ ne nɔ mia si be ne hiahiã va tu mia miagaƒu du ayi ɖe miaƒe sɔfowo gbɔ lo miaƒe gadzikpɔlawo gbɔ lo alo katekisiwo gbɔ be ne wokpe ɖe mia ŋu miame yiwo le credit union ma miawoe ke gazãna ga le mɔ vovovowo nu eye ne mi wɔ ɖoɖo ma kɔ da ɖe anyia eye mi le ga dzram ɖoa nenye be mi kɔ eƒe woame etɔ̃ eye mi kɔ wɔ dɔ yiwo gblɔm mi la efia be le ƒe wo dɔ megba vision alo ŋgɔgbe kpɔ yi ke le mia sia ana be miavo le eganyawo me eta mi le ŋusẽ do mi be mi gadzagbagba ganye credit union gbãtɔ yi ke tro le financial year ƒe wɔnawo ŋua miasrɔ̃ nu tso mia gbɔ be ne miawo miewɔ AGM a miata nye velia alo etɔ̃lia. Briefly, what I'm saying is that I bring you greetings from the Empress Cooperative Credit Union for and on behalf of the Board of Directors and the entire membership and the Meridian Presbytery. We are saying that we are all together in this and that it will take us, ourselves, to prepare ourselves to get out of the financial woes that we find ourselves in. If we do this continually and do it very well, we will all be smiling and come to church with bigger tithe and come and bless the name of the Lord. We are saying that let's do it together, and together, yes, we can. So we wish you very well in your second annual general meeting, and may the good Lord be with us all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dogbaji. We are grateful. Next on our program is the proposal and adoption of AGM resolutions. And this is going to be done by our board chairman, Presbyter Bernard Daddy.
Credit Union, Orama, From our last, our first general meeting, we were tasked to put some strategies in place. And out of those strategies, we are bringing before you some of the steps that we've taken for your approval for us to adapt and then work with. And so I stand before you with our resolutions. The first resolution, it can be found in page 53. Page 53. The first resolution is the Board of Directors propose for a ratification and adoption of an AGM, the budget estimates and projections as captured under 2021. Projections of the Board of Directors reports. Go to the Board of Directors reports, you see the projections there. Let me finish it, okay. This is necessary due to the delay in holding this year's AGM. The Board of Directors have sanctioned the 2021 budget for management's direction, pending members' ratification at the AGM, moved by the Board Chairman for and on behalf of the Board of Directors. What we are saying is that the budget for 2021, we are in October of 2021, but the budget came before the AGM. So the board approved it, but we approved it on your behalf. And so we are bringing it before you to ratify our approval. That is the gist of this resolution. So those who understand and go with us to approve, may we see by hand. We are voting on this. Are you ratifying our administrative action for 2021? We want to see votes by hand. 4, those who are for this ratification. Those who are for.
Madam,
Okay.
Miela Bobblo Bede, budget taker Miako Award 2021 man. And general AGM Lefio Labemia at the Sireji. The Kamotonva AGM Kaba, Miela October, Epiela Mugu, the board of directors, you are the Sireji, the Miapon Come. Bemi akọ management na kwa wodo oya ta ya mi ko le dowo vasara fifie ta o fifie board va mi agbobere edo e ka yo wore mi atepe a na mi adasere ji be mi ko ede me be mi akọ wodo ta fifie o le ba bia be mekawe dasere ji be edo e ka yo wore mi anu a ele tepe ha ta o de be mu pera be mekawe na mi abete mi dasere ji na me de be na me lore ju na aso na to na ngba fa.
Point of order.
Maragugu no gagugo amara na mi budgeta azubaru koklinami koklino gaida pama agugo mara na mi. Then we can understand very well. Okay. Then we take a decision on it. Okay.
Maragugu na mi yire page page 49. Page 49. We have 2021 budget allo projections. Eko lebe mi akọwa wodoa elefimi elebe mi akọ mi anebe the mi world AGM dongo ola anye elu lebe mi ava mi agbo ta edel erunka budget ile ya ko odo mi ele so far is about me October me. Like a board any America that said this budget the G your management call it though if it has come to you for ratification.
At mid dema 2020 me have actual expenditures oh no ale. Financial income was 105,521 cedis. Maybe our increase, we projected it to be 158,281 cedis, about 50% increase. We increased by 50%. Our non-financial income was the actual in 2020 was 17,000. I'm just calling the thousands. And then in 2021, we are increasing it by 8,000 to reach 25,675. Total income per projection, we are increasing by 61,000. So the actual figure is 183,000. Our expenditure for 2021, we increased by 1,800 for cost of funds. So the actual became 5,480 instead of 3,600. Provision for loan losses. We increased by 1,600. General and administrative expenses, we increased by 46,000. So the total expenditure for the year under review was increased, will be 148,404 cedis. If you take that from our expected revenue, we'll get a budgeted surplus of 34,000. When you come to the balance sheet, assets, because of time, I won't go into details. The assets, we intended to increase assets by 274,000. Current liabilities and equity, we intended to increase that by 200, that's the balance sheet. So that will also increase same. So that is the projected figure we have brought to you to ratify. In brief, we are running out of time. Is somebody taking the notes for me? I think we have the majority there. So it's passed. 2 on the resolutions. The Board of Directors move for the adoption of AGM, a congregational emergency loan. This type of loan is designed for congregations that needs up to 10,000 short-term emergency financial support, irrespective of their savings balance. The qualification for such loan must be, the applicant must be a church, AP church, Ghana congregation. It must be registered under the Orama Cooperative Credit Union Limited. 2, applicant must have at least 500 Ghana cedis as shares. Other considerations. We want to know the purpose of the loan, duration of payback, amount requested. The applicant must be in good standing with the presbytery, and the interest on such a loan is 5% monthly on reducing balance basis. Bile bobrobe, bile loan bubude, duda, henye hame loan, not individual. This is a church loan, emergency loan. Na de jofa mia koklo, na de job mia fe mess, na mi be mi doli, na de le mess. Allo, so we legbo, mi de mi wotorele, so va fe me, be hiega. A galapu mia akwe da de headline that you have emergency church emergency loan. After na ton aho a guy tola, even to mention qualification la, you must be a EP church. You must be a EP church. Ejebe na no credit union me. Ejebe shares na na siole credit union not less than 500. Ejebe wo fe do na presbytery no etefe zigede bi le pobe abegede ba ko loan vola opo assessment queen totola megalaji yumo ejebe mi amebe mi ton so afo o metos bobo na presbytery o atami apobo ni topete le etefe interest ekena no do na 5% per month on a reduced balance basis. Ebi lombe bi do loan the people there me akalemela kemi da koreji. If you agree that you have such a loan in our books, can we put it in votes? Question? Yes. I can't hear you. If you can come to.
The 5% reducing this, that is what I'm saying, that if it will be 4%, it will help us. The percentage is too high for the congregation.
Yes, they should project it. Yes, they should project it. Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, the percentage
It's
If
too
they will
much.
reduce it 4%, I think it will help us. That is my suggestion. The emergency loan for the congregation.
Okay. Any other opinion? Any for support? Any against?
There's a hand here.
Yes, the hand in my far left. Yes.
Please, I also like to suggest that we open it up for other congregations aside, because we want to expand our membership level. Open it up, we get other congregations, and then their members to join us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Name, David Dake. David Dake is my name.
Any other view? Reverend first, then Presbyter. That will be the last, then we can take a decision on this, please.
I also want to suggest that we add EP schools, this category.
Sorry?
EP schools, the presbytery.
Okay, we should expand the scope. Okay. Yes, sir. So, I don't do that.
The idea is very laudable, but I'm suggesting that the interest to be reduced to 3%.
Somebody says 4, somebody says 3.
Yes.
I said we should do the amendments, the correction now, then, or what do you think?
No, we have to vote on the issues. But some are suggesting, some are telling, some are, so we vote.
Okay. All right.
Explain to them.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Let's make money. We are members, so we'll make more money. We'll get it.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think we've listened to all of you. The first is on the interests. We have 2 proposals here. The credit union is to make money. 1 is also to make the loan accessible, but not free. The cost of money, we are asking for dividends. You are asking for dividends. If we give at par, when I say we give loan at par, it means that the cost of the money we get and then how we turn it around is equal, is par. The cost of money includes even paying staff. If you don't take all this into consideration, you might not get good staff, you might not be able to retain your staff, then members will also cry that they are not getting interest on their money investments. So we have put all this into consideration. However, we have 2 motions here. Could we move the motions properly? Then we vote on the motion. The 5, 3, and 4% reducing balancing. We have done our calculations, and we think that the 5 will be a win-win situation. But if members think that it will be a win-loss situation, it is our society, and you are the governing body. What you decide to us, we will obey. So we'll put this into motion, and then we'll vote on the rates.
Chairman, can I come in add something small? Please, let me draw your attention that as the name connotes, it says that an emergency loan, congregation emergency loan. In other words, the person, it is something that they are in dire need for, they are just coming to jump on you. So definitely, they are also coming to inconvenience you in a way. So that is why we need to take certain things also into consideration before arriving at our decision. But the decision is yours anyway.
So please, the floor is open. We are listening. Mr. Bankers.
I'm here.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sorry.
just to contribute to that debate, the cost of emergency loan cannot be the same as a normal loan. If we all understand that, we should not be pleading for reduction of interest or a reduction of interest on the loan. We need that interest in order to buy that money to give to the congregation. So please, I'm pleading with you just to accept the 5%. Otherwise, you see, the board will be running at a loss. Thank you.
The name of the loan is clear, emergency. So, the 3% proposal, are you also understand? Thank you very much for the understanding. Thank you very much for the understanding. Then let's come to the second one. The second one is laudable. We should open it up. Since our position is that the society is not only for the church, it's open out. I think we embrace that one. And so we will not debate that at all. So we will reframe it and say that you must be a member of the society, a corporate body member of the society. So you must be a corporate body, be it EPC school, be it Pentecost, be it any other place, but so long as you have registered as a corporate member, then you can access this loan. Thank you. If that understanding is clear, can we then put it in vote? The resolution 1. Let's show if you accept it by hand. That is the vote. Then we know that we have all accepted. It passed. Thank you. Resolution 3. The Board of Directors move for the ratification and adoption of AGM and ability to pay loan. This is distinct from the special loan, ability to pay loan. This type of loan is designed for those whose savings balance may not qualify them to assess the level of loan required at the time of application, but from all indications have the ability to service the loan adequately at a premium interest rate that is a little higher than the special loan interest rate prevailing at the time of the application. Qualification: must have a stable and regular source of income that transcends the loan's repayment period. Debt to income ratio must not exceed 40%. Must have a good savings pattern and ability to repay. A good track record of members' loans repayment on previous loan contracted. D. The amount to be granted shall not be more than 20% of the society's total deposits. Must be guaranteed by the employer of the applicant, where the applicant will rely on his or her monthly salary to service the loan. Other considerations are the purpose of the loan, the duration of repayment, amounts requested. The interest rate shall be 5% monthly on reducing balance method. It is before you for consideration. Do we take this loan? Do we take this product into our books? Ability to pay loan. So if there's no counter motion, can we vote on it? If there's a counter motion, raise your hand and give us your view about it. If there's no counter motion, just raise your hand and let's vote, and then we move on. Merakuku na mademe. Merakuku mademe. Loan elenye. Loan no le mi asi gede mi la nana. Kake loan nto mi na mi le la ofe savings balance pom. Call a loan da. Kake na ton jode ojio. He ofe savings ma aton ade aga kedi na lebo. Kake edowo na de la siwe. He na aton afia be ne hofetu. He ke aton ake ekema. Ke edade le sugela ke aton ateremian ahwe. Eya bi le yoyo be ability to pay loan. He as nyan no fe knowledge be mi ko edole wo sugela ke mi do asideji ne mi ko edeme ne mi ko wodo. Ke if it's not the counter motion, so you are with us, so you don't have to talk. The one who doesn't believe that it should be that, I'm giving that opportunity to the person to express how he wants us to do it. If they are silent, then we vote. Emekwa, atami adakwa, mi dakoreji, be lobe mi ko odo, e be loda, e den lobe mi ko odo la asini ijime. If you think that is a good product, hands up and let us go on. Majority have the pass. Okay. Fourth resolution. Capital adequacy ratio. Statutory must not fall below 15%. Below 50% implies the society is in distress and could lead to disclosure by the regulator. As at December 2019, our capital adequacy was 20.53%. That was 5.53 above the threshold. This fell by 6.53 to register an unacceptable level of, I don't understand this. 1 minute. 1 minute. Let me go over it again, please. Capital adequacy ratio. Statutorily, must not fall below 15%. Below 50% implies that the society is in distress and could lead to disclosure by the closure by the regulator. As of December 2019, our capital adequacy ratio was 20.53%. That means we were above by 5.3%, above the threshold. This fell by 6.5% to register an unacceptable level of 14%, which was below the 15% limit as at June 2020. By the grace of God, it increased to 19.1% as at December 2020. To ensure that the society is always kept above the statutory capital adequacy ratio, the Board of Directors moved for the adoption of AGM that for every savings deposit a member makes, 10% of the amount will be moved to his or her savings shares account. In short, we are saying that to have capital to work. Currently, if you are registering as a member of the union, you only are required to buy 100 shares, and that is all. You don't add to the shares any longer. But we think that that policy will not help going forward. So anytime you do any top up on your savings, we take 10% of that top up to buy shares for you, so we can also grow our share base. If you look at the account, you saw that our share was coming down to 6%. We were being very low on shares when we read the reports. So to remedy this, we are proposing that for every savings that you do, the House should agree that we should take 10% of your savings contributions to shares. For example, if you put 100 cedis in your savings every month, 10 cedis will be used to buy shares. So you have 10 shares at every savings. So you grow your savings and you grow your shares. So when it comes to dividend sharing, you have also a handsome dividend at the end of the day. Kifi laila, ina zumia domentora kala, na ple 100 shares ko na zumemba. Esere kama galebe da ako peda wo kake bi boso he shares e 100 kola e do wada ma yi nyedo mi afa ese me de bobe mi afa Capita Adequacy be jereke ba yi level mo na yi below a certain level. Hey shares wele mi ase osobola ke mi fall into the mi ano o ma no the will not be balanced. Ta he bi nyele savings work ode bi no shares si frepe ata he the savings work 100 cedis la mi de bon mi be 10 cedis le 100 cedis mi ko fe shares that way my the savings work mi ko fe shares ata shares a komo $100 so la our first savings la na there 110 the next month na there 120 go actually yi be e geke ba do be bi le dividends namla o dividend ha a komo e do ha aiji merakuku miesema. If you all agree and there is no counter motion to this resolution, if there's a counter motion, I'll give you the opportunity.
Thank you, the Chair of the House. My name is Senyo Saku from Southland. I want to propose that this package become optional for members to choose to sign up or still just maintain savings being savings. And then also the management make conscious effort for members to buy more shares than savings, than having it as an automatic system where I deposit savings and 10% goes out. Thank you.
Management's effort is what you have proposed. And you say if you say you should go and make another effort, management's effort that is making in this regard is the proposal. So I don't see how it can be optional because it's a family. So the family cannot, if it's 10%, so if your savings is 10 cedis, your share is 1 cedi. If somebody's savings is 100 cedis, his share is 10 cedis. So there is variation here. It's not a flat rate. But that is our effort, if you ask me. Ata hebe sebe na ola ke hebi we ha amesa me do task da ke mi da sa mi hu yes e dama mi awe ma ba wa ton ko e ve la wo ko si alo mi ade le me. So you are for the motion. Thank you very much.
Joseph Pembo. Joseph Pembo. A package here include youth savings chair. Youth savings. Does this package also include youth savings? Youth, yes.
Youth, hello group.
Youth.
Yes.
Whereby maybe they cannot do anything, they just keep saving till when they are 18. So does it mean when they are saving every month, they take 10% and...
Yes, every savings.
Youth savings.
Every savings.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. You be at the next place.
My suggestion is that we all know what is involved in when you are taking a loan. There's a projection that when you take this X amount of loan, you are likely to pay this X amount of interest. However, when it comes to dividends, many of us don't know what it takes that, or the prospect of a dividend. Maybe people will be moved when a rough work is done for us. That if a maximum number of people take this, contribute this number of shares, by the end of the year, if things go this way, then you are likely to get this number of dividends. I think it will be a motivation. But if we are not too clear, well, we have already announced a loss, which we understand the realities on the ground. But I think that if we can, for a lay person like me, I should be convinced of the prospect of my dividends or my shares. So that's what I think we're looking at. Then it would boost our confidence. However, I think we should still make it optional. When the explanation goes well and I'm excited about it, then I trigger that option. Thank you.
It's a Wampa, sorry.
Thank you. My name is Adequacy Wampa from Domin Pillar 2. I would like to suggest that the minimum shares will rather be increased to 200 series. So the 10% will be deducted from the savings till each member has that limit. So the rest will be optional. So that if we all have 200 series limit of shares, then if someone want to increase it, the person can increase it. So from the start, if you all can limit our shares or increase it to 200 series, I think it will help.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. The spirit of credit union is group ownership. The spirit of credit union is member ownership. And so members cannot be in the union if they don't improve on the shares of the company. And also, one individual cannot take more than 20% of the shares of the company. And so if we do it optional, it is against the tenants of the credit union, because it is votes by, we are voting by membership, and the member is supposed to have had savings and shares. And shares is actually the owner of the company, and not the shares, not the savings. And so it is open to all. That is why we don't want to go by the optional basis, because soon as you go by the optional basis, somebody's shares is becoming a controlling interest over you. But the tenets of the credit union is that equal membership. So opportunities are, but it is looked at per your ability. But the opportunity is made for all. So let us understand where we are as if you are in the credit union. The basis of the credit union is that we contribute to the shares and we contribute to the savings. Then we make money to give out to members for need days. That is why the option will not hold.
Chairman. Orama, Marco Pade, Numa de Deo Gima, nous de kamajibé mia alen kure nous vient les motion les mia ngofi fi la enye be mia tenua we be onye lolonu optional ela be ne mi ponu ya o plena mia nous bantam ya be capital adequacy ratio la it is statutory ese onye ese be at least we should not have less than 15% of our capital adequacy ratio. Capital adequacy commission ashicha gaya lemia shiri lemia pe gaya mi ko eje do rona gome shikanya mi pe shares alo capital de miga majebo wono vie awu mama we at 15% of the total assets of the business. So na le vie awu ko kafia be na na fudege le ga nchido abe bank ni ode Bank of Ghana, for instance, banks so high, they have a certain statutory 10% and what 5% in all early. That ni blomile nyebe nemebe mia wonu ya onye lolonu a ava jobe efe ha wunu gaka we will not achieve the 15% and we are falling below statutory reserve. And once me learn one le esse ale essa gro na me we ndem wa me apa ma yo okay le me agi pom shikanya department of cooperative pletola angokare na atnova adefunami to he had atnova le me ta to boba nu fiafia pleto yimba mi shares mi wole na ma shama fa share na yiji mi wom gakama le mi le we are not getting the results ama chonu ma va ma lota mi chom alo mi bumbe for every savings a gadesha she can never there 10% now you there will shares account me nyateno wonuma for a year or two to just to build up our shares level ke le esse shike le mia koloma mie woni mie da for la fima o ta ele mia gbo na mie po be miatenu awe be miunto miatenu ako gave after additional shares. Let me cut down additional share of 100 or 200. Maybe by the end of the year, then we can consider our share adequacy, capital adequacy ratio to go up. We are interested in savings because the more I save, the more loan I take. Therefore, we cannot do this business properly. And secondly, we are falling short of what our regulators ask us to do. Lances. It can result in the withdrawal of our lances. Shares na plus capital adequacy of 15% money. Are more than that. Currently, we are doing around 19.1. At job, it may fall, but we want to beef it up very well. Plus, even if it falls, we are still within the 15%.
We are going to vote on this resolution. Those who are for this resolution, let's see by hand. Those who are for, if you are for the resolution, if you agree to this resolution, let's see by hand, please. Can we count this particular resolution because it's, can we actually count this resolution? Pardon? Okay. So majority, okay. Still a question on the floor. We vote? Okay. Okay, I'll give. Speak.
Please, I wanted to ask this question. Is there any provisions made about the shares level as to the highest peak, whereby one can give, if he's given the opportunity, as against the below of the 500 you are now advocating for? So what is the guarantee or the advantage of the highest shares giver? I want to understand this. Because if you understand what shares is all about, it's not about all these arguments we are making, because that is the basis of the credit union. So I wanted to be clear about this issues.
Thank you. For every company to exist, you have to have capital. Capital are in a lot of forms. Capital can be in shares, can be in loan, can be in preferential shares, etc. That's the whole lecture. Okay, let me give you the gist of it. Before any company can exist, you should exist on capital for any business. It's the cheapest capital in the market for any company. There are other capitals, like I said, equity, loan. If you go for loan, it's a capital, but you'll be paying interest. If you go for shares, you'll be paying dividends. And dividends will be determined by all of us. But the loan, the interest will be determined by the provider of the loan. And in any financial institution, because of liquidity, today you hear that they said the commercial banks, they should raise their capital to a certain level. Some of them couldn't, they closed them down. For the fear of that, we want to be up in our capital. So when the need comes for us to increase capital, it will not be shock to us. So as we drop little every year in ITLA, we will be having a comfortable capital base. The regulation is 15%. But if you are having 30%, 40%, you are more liquid, solid organization in terms of financial institution than the other institution who is offering on only the regulated amount, 50%. So when there's a shock, you will come one day and tell you that our capital has eroded due to so many things. For example, loan delinquency, people are not paying your loans, they will take it from your capital. So if you don't meet the 50%, we will call maybe an emergency AGM and say, look, the regulators after us. Everybody bring 100 Ghana cedis immediately or they close our company. Because we do not want to get there. We want to be visionary enough. That is why we are bringing this to our bear, that we should all be conscious to build the capital. And I also said that we don't want one person to control the union, so that when we are stressed, we will run to one person that bail us out. Then the person controls more than 20% of the shares, so he becomes the controlling owner. So we will not need AGMs to take decisions. That person can take decisions that will bind all of us because he has the controlling shares. We do not want to do that. That's the reason why we are saying that everybody consciously build your individual shares, so your controlling interest in the company will be equal. I can't explain this in a way, unfortunately. So that is it. So it is the board's decision, view, that we grow our shares little, so that we are in a comfortable bracket as an organization. That is the gist of the resolution. Thank you. I think we voted on it, so it's passed. Thank you very much for the votes. Resolution number 5. Due to the relocation of 2 members of our supervisory committee members outside the Greater Accra region, the supervisory committee has become virtually ineffective. The Board of Directors therefore move for the adoption of the AGM, the reconstitution of the Supervisory Committee to ensure effective internal audit performance of the committee. We are saying that members of the Supervisory Committee have moved on from our presbytery. They are elsewhere, so they are no longer in our members. They are not available for meetings. So we want to ask your permission to reconstitute this committee. If you agree to give us the authority to do that, show by hand. Thank you very much. I think we have it. 6, the Board of Directors move for the adoption of AGM, the Board of Directors' decision to clear the negative position of the reserves as presented in the 2020 December audit financial statement before payment of dividends to members. I think this is to just put our decision in perspective. We are not paying dividends because we have a negative reserves. So we must all agree as a house that we will only pay dividends if we have finished paying those who set up the company's money, the reserves, negative reserves that we have. God willing, by this year, we have only 6,000 to pay. If we pay this 6,000, I believe by next year, we will be able to pay dividends. But we are not paying dividends this year, and we want your approval to ask us not to pay dividends this year because we have a negative reserves. If you agree, show by hand. The hands are not coming up. Are we tired? Is it a question on hand? Which of the two? Okay. But we are voting.
Mr. Sepa just explained that it is a statutory requirement.
Yes.
So if it's a statutory requirement, there is no reason why we should vote again. Because it is
practice.
Yes.
It is practice. What we are doing is just practice.
Okay.
It's practice.
Right.
Yeah. So we are voting, please. If you agree that we hold this position, show by hand. Thank you. We have it. The last resolution. The Board of Directors move for the adoption of AGM, the budget for 2021, under the heading 2021 projections. 2022 projections, sorry. Page, please. Page 50, 51. That is our budget for next year. So we don't come back and ratify a past budget. So we are approving this budget for implementation come January. So this is the budget for 2022. Do you need time to peruse through or we vote? We gave you these documents before today, so we hope that you have perused through them. You have read through them. What is your view? What is the view of the House? We vote. Let's vote on the 2022 budget. You are voting. Oh, you have a question? You are voting. So please, let's see by hand, please. You are voting. Voting for budget for 2022, which is in the document, 50 and 51. Is that in pass? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this session.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to We are grateful for your patience. Okay, as we continue on, please, if you are here, you want to make some deposits, the desk out there, you can walk to us and do your deposit. We'll just credit your accounts with that. If you are here and you want to join us, you go to the desk there, we have our forms available. We'll register you, you become part of us. You can register as a group, an individual. So you are all welcome to join Horama. We are on other matters, any other business. Any other business?
We'll give numbers. We'll give numbers. Number 1, 2, 3.
My name is Presbyter Hatama. Mine is a question about God. We are advised to invite people from outside, people who are not join us. On that side, when that person wants to get a loan, how he or she is going to get a guarantor for grant the loan for, or to grant the loan for that person. Thank you.
My name is Lisbeth Elon Kogo. I'm from Latebe Okosho. Badakuku, Orama, over miabo, by over. Medon kuji meglobe, ameko, lemiabo, beno, for Orama. The Benya, like a wole, because as at now, Miabo Latebe Okoshia. Orama, Yemenya amenene elemo do ba moleme akai kamia yebana over wado plan the church monu alo church na every Sunday alo whatever one gather for akono Orama yi basere fife yemele Orama mo do nyefa group leme elabe mele latabi okoshi alo mele dance ma alo mele sukura mado vuzieve afi ava osu ava a register alo Bela bank bubu meya eta me feel be okay e ka fi ka mele tada wunyala ma continue akedo mahi na Orama anno mi agbo eya wa nyobe wa demo kosira de siade katikiso anno fe egbefa de me wa no gbefa da bele ko wona wefe na ameti ame no le gbefa do le ringi da mo fe to me that form le va ko form do le nu me de na mi video a was am hosbe amegede Woo! Ava elabe ne ko ada new banks o ko wa o do mo dada market o gbo me o le ga ko 1 city 2 city 1 city 2 city ko le baba mi o mi to abe Sunday ko ya ton awon ma ya ta no le gbe fa de le una mi gbe si agbe le e ma won a to ma hin enye lom ma get interest ma hin me ka ke nfa fa de avana be ma gede me e ke ma ko e ata e ya me di be ma ko mi ko gbo ne mi awe na mi ape
Number 3. Number 3.
Anye ke medi ma gwa west style anu shila unya akwa gede aka ehia be branches especially our community amu atono gegede eme nyano campaign kperun shila ala be mi na kasu desiare kliham do le branches Binyek besiak be fande de. La mana me ko hado me le record yen. Ha ga yo ka me wo pe pele. Kuna ka wa education la, me le so yo me go yi. O le sese adodo e. Ata ma ade be ele be agent odi no mi aso.
Na do bele asopo. Na do bele ko asopo. Wait, let's respond to this one so that we can continue. Let's go by the
Orama.
Vision.
Horama.
Vision.
Okay. It is very important at the congregational level that the individuals there who understand Horama agree to join. Very often, information has gone to the congregations. But like you know, Westwater Presbytery has 53 congregations. It is not possible for the education committee to go around all of them. But from scratch, we have been able to cover as many as we can. So it is left for the congregation leadership to take up that responsibility. Recently, we sent invitation for congregations to even nominate representatives to attend a special training session where they can be groomed on how to, respond to questions from their members on the Horama Cooperative Credit Union. But we didn't get the numbers to be able to hold even a training session. So those of you here today, we want you also to carry this message to your congregations so that, you see, it doesn't take anything to get registered. Forms have been distributed to all the congregations. And if you go to your congregational managers, the catechists, the pastors, and so on, the forms may be lying somewhere. So you go to your congregation, the catechist, whoever you have appointed, pick a form, fill that form, and get it submitted so that you can become a member. You see, it is not enough filling the form and paying your shareholding ability. You need to continue making savings in order to grow the union. So we are pleading with you. The education is still going on, but you also be proactive, especially those of you attending this annual general meeting. Carry the message to your members, those who belong to your congregation. Let them get to the congregation, the session or whoever, finance committee, executive committee, so that they can take the form and fill the form. For any avoidance of that, the headquarters is always there, Cuckoo Hill. But we know that not everybody can come to Cuckoo Hill in order to obtain the form to fill. That is why we distributed these to all the congregations. So please, if you are still running into difficulty, let's talk so that we can resolve your difficulties in becoming members of CORE. Thank you.
In addition to what the chairman of education has said, right now, you need not even come physically to our place to transact business. You can be in your bedroom and transact business. And a lot of people are now doing that because they send their contributions or savings through Momo. Our Momo numbers have been given out, so we shall give it out again. And even if they want to do withdrawal, they are there and then we send them the money. They don't come physically. Now, in the opening hours, because of technology, you get the form, you fill it, you need not even come to Kukuyu to submit it. You can scan it to us, and then we work on it. You scan it to us, we work on it before coming for the hard copies. So these are some of the innovations that we have applied. We are applying for the people to make life easier for all of us. So that's for the one who asked regarding the membership. Now, the new members, those who are not EP members, that's what President Tamaklu asked, that how can they be, how can they access loan? I think the loan committee chairman maybe may handle.
Okay, for every loan there are requirements. So if you, let's say, Apostolic Church, register with us. Is that not the example you are giving? And it's a member. If it's a normal loan, the requirement is that you must have a guarantor who is also what? A member. So you can be any other congregation, any institution or society and still be a member of Orama. And once you are in, the conditions for each of the loan, once you satisfy, you are granted. That is all about it. Thank you.
Thank you. To add to planting of branches, where we can have satellite branches, it's all capital. We will have to buy decks, computer to fix at those places. And all that comes from the shares pricing that you give us. You understand? That is part of the strategy. That is why we are asking that you will give us some portion of your savings as shares. So we can have working capital to be able to do all, because we will need to employ, we need to pay allowances to those who sit there to do all those jobs for us. So it is a continuous process. We will get there. Second batch. This will be the last because our mandate was to meet for 2 hours. We are getting to the third hour. So we will take the last 3.
1, 2, 3.
If I catch your eye, then you are happy. 1, 2, 3. 3 at the back. Yeah, white shirt, 3. No, yeah, you. In the middle. 3. 1, 2, 3. So start.
Okay.
We are with EcoBank. We are with EcoBank. Thank you very much. Number 3, becoming closer. I'll give you the opportunity. Wait.
Marakun kwenye dai na adi machocho kome. Maraku aba nye sister Glover ya nyama jiwe maro kwaji. Ba miacho kome to. Nyaba credit union me miela. Mia attack pom ngala ba nunora ra kama vala mia shaba fo bakata na foto ena. Minya nuka me milo na nu toto nyami mbe mia kwa. Minya makabia ga mia nya ha ga ka mia jo ha. Minya makatutue mia ajweni. Tamadra kuku. Nicho wanamba mayo officer nyakwa kwa mara mipunu. Tita mavaba maraku nya troshile nya chokometa over.
Merakuku erepa. Oepa. Dotu. Afeto esa. Yours is a peculiar thing. So I know pas commun as autres. Number 3.
Nyanye tamenya baruma hi akanwa maga imaju. Na nyama ho nyaga na ma.
Merakuku obiepa na azatu papa.
Meraku, we phone to mobile money. Meraku, can't we have any short code that will make you pay directly into your account? Because mobile money comes with charges. And as an agent in a church, the person who is doing the savings is giving you, when the person gives you money, he or she is expecting the exact money in his or her account.
Yeah.
Okay. And moreover, too, some agents are not registered members of the credit union, but they are agents in their churches. So they have to take care, even if it is once a month. What is the provision for that agent who takes the car from wherever to the credit union head office to register the person?
Please. Yeah, I take your word. Chairman, when we close, kindly talk to him. We will resolve that matter.
This thing must be answered.
For the merchant's number, we are working at it. That one will come shortly. Okay. But for those who are not members but they are agents, we want you to talk to him. We want to take this before, and then we want to win them first. They must be members.
And even if they are members and they don't intend depositing, or even if they are members and they don't plan depositing, or they don't want to deposit, but because you are an agent, you have a lot of money with you. When you want to send, it will come with charges. Should we take the charge from those giving us the money? Because we are going to send it through Momo, they are going to take charge. And if you look at things, which financial institution is adding charges to the depositors' money, which will attract more members to come? Because if you are giving me money, somebody who is not part of EP Church is giving me money outside, and I tell the person, oh, add 3 cedi, 2 cedi to this as a charge. The person will ask me a lot of questions, and maybe if you don't, I cannot answer. So we should look at how this side will be handled, so that if it is charges, we work on the charges. If it is the transport to the office or whatever, we work on it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like Chairman said, the merchant number is being worked on. We send the documentations to MTN. They are working on it. We hope very soon it comes. With that, when you are sending money by Momo Pay, it's cheaper than the normal mobile money. So we hope very soon when it comes, it will be put and the information will get to everybody. However, for now, I would liken the Momo charge to you taking taxi to your bank. Okay? It's the same way if you want to go to a bank. Assuming Horama is even around your church area, I'm sure definitely you take transport to go to Orama. So for now, let's treat it as what? Transportation cost. Once we manage and see the way forward. That is what I think we can be doing now. We hope that, like Chairman said, satellite branches will come up, and it's all part of the strategic plan for the union. So together we will work and achieve a best way of going about our things. I hope it's very clear.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Last question.
My question is about the guarantors on loan. I have a member who is a trader, and she's loyal in her savings. Now, she wants to take a loan, and I understand that I want to guarantee her, and I have to have a savings of about a certain percent. And I don't have that saving in my account. And she is saying that I should be a guarantor. And I called one of the executives, and they explained to me that unless I have a certain percentage in my savings before I can guarantee. But she doesn't know anyone to guarantee. I just want.
Thank you very much for the question. Please, you can't jump into your first loan so high. The money we are giving out is everybody's money. And so we are very circumspect as to how much we can give you. So if we put all these securities checks together and you can't get that particular amount, you only have to reduce the amount. It means that the amount you are taking is a little too high for you as a starter. You understand it? The guarantors are additional security or collateral to the loan. Very so to SMEs. That is where the risk is. You see, SMEs are the highest risks in our portfolio brackets, be it commercial banks or savings and loans, whatever. And so we ensure that somebody should guarantee them. You understand? And so the amount that they want to take, if they can't get anybody to guarantee them with their savings, then they just have to reduce the amount.
But what about when the person my saving as a guarantor is not up to that?
Yes, I'm saying that amount that they ask you to guarantee, and she wants you to, she must reduce it to that your level. Your level for her to be able to access that loan. She can't keep herself on that high demand without enough security. That shouldn't be a problem. All she needed to do is to take a little at a time and then show as you take your confidence, and then our KYC will be better. But if for the first timer and you are taking 10,000 and you can't get a guarantor who can support your 10,000, it shouldn't be a problem. Take 5,000. You can't stick to the 10,000 when your checks can't meet 10,000.
So in this case, it's just the guarantors, not the person saving.
The person's own and yours. The person's own is the first, and yours is the second. So yours is not, if she's taking 10,000, you don't need to have 10,000. If she has 5,000 in her account, maybe your 5,000 should meet the 10,000 demand. So depending on what is in her savings account, plus yours, will equate to the loan request. Is that clear? You are not guaranteeing all the 100. You are guaranteeing the deficit. The deficit on a requirement. I think, am I clear? Let me explain it practically. If you have a savings of 5,000 and you want to take 10,000, your collateral 5,000 cannot meet your 6,000. So whoever is going to guarantee you as a second person should have more than 1,000. You can't bring a second person whose savings is 50 cedis to guarantee the deficit of the 1,000. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you are matching your guarantor, you should know your self-worth. If your money can reach it, you don't need a guarantor. If it doesn't meet it, then you need a guarantor. And the guarantor must be equally liquid. That's not the person we need. We need something that can take the deficit. Thank you very much. Let's move forward.
Okay, thank you. We take the closing remarks from the chairman.
Horama, Credit Union, happy family. I'm very delighted for you giving us your time and your interest in this society. Without you, this laudable idea of having a credit union will not come to being. We are so happy and grateful for your suggestions, your willingness to listen and to support us in all our thinking and vision. We together can build a big institution. God on our side. The rate at which we are going, let's give ourselves the next 5 years, and we will see wonderful things. Everybody's peswa is very important in this union. Everybody's peswa is respected. Everybody's time is respected. We need more people on the field. We need volunteers who will give allowances to. We don't want to go and employ outside the society. We believe we have youth in our churches who want to start some job. If they approach us and they are qualified, we will give them some work to do for a little allowance to start with. But this union would grow to a bank. Our vision is to match unions like Accountant General, University of Ghana, Customs, GRA. Their balance sheet is more than some banks in this country, but they are a credit union. And I believe we will reach there one day. I thank you all for your time, and I thank you that come next year, we will post better results and dividends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We take the vote of thanks. We thank God Almighty for granting us this day, for us to have a successful second annual general meeting. Our next thanks goes to our invited guests for honoring our invite to come for this very important meeting. Our thanks goes to the board of directors and all the committee members running Horama Cooperative Credit Union. Our members are not left out. We say thank you to you all. Without you, Horama wouldn't be in existence. God bless you. Akpenami. We take our closing prayer. We take our closing prayer. And I invite Reverend Samuel Nyonyo to give us the closing prayer.
Let us pray. Minamido bera. Mau amenuela mie dak benao. Mie kafuo, mie do reji. Pe esimiele ego mejegela. Mie pe otoche. Evan wanyi plimi. Plomito takpekpe siame. Eye elen wumwe ha plimi. Mie be hobubu do reji. Plak pe dada. Kemi gacho mi afe mo yi blerasio me be wonto na plomia do metode siade mi ado mi afe no fe o le wonti fa fa me mi afe be dodora enye be eferika fa zon li sike gale mi ango abe Horama habobo enea miebia tokuku dede mebe naga keke mireji awualia miebia be Horama Credit Union sia a vide gade venami vena wo hamela vena wo dukola ye dak benao bese mi afet bedurao. We thank you, Lord our God, for granting us a successful meeting through Christ our Lord and Savior. Amen. Let's pray the Lord's Prayer standing. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed.
Now let us receive the benediction. Lord, our vision that the Orama
becomes a bank in future, may it come to pass. And may the blessings of the Lord continue to guide you in all that you do, especially the leadership. Go in peace and contribute much to the success of Orama. May the Lord be with us all now and forever. Amen.
Thank you. Please let's take the following announcement. Please, we are going to take a group photograph with our board members and the shareholders here. Also, we have something small for you, as in refreshment, but we are going to use just one exit so that each and everybody can get that. So we will use the main entrance. As you come out, you are served. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you next year. My name still remains Eyram Dukukuma. Bye.
The Horama Cooperative Credit Union Limited invites you to its second annual general meeting on the theme, Together We Can, the Spirit of Credit Unions, at EP Church Ghana, Shalom Parish, Dansoman, on Thursday, 21st October 2021, 10 a.m. prompt. Issues to be discussed include to receive and consider the reports of the board and other committees, to receive audited accounts as at 31st December 2020, to ratify the 2021 budget and approve the 2022 budget, to discuss the report and transact any other business. For further inquiries, contact 057-817-4877 or 055-827-9116. All stakeholders are cordially invited. The Horama Cooperative